Okay, what is going on, everybody of Bucks County, Pennsylvania, or wherever you're watching this? My name is Robert Ranelli. I'm a personal trainer in the Bucks County area. I primarily serve New Hope, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding areas. If you have any more questions, just look me up, Robert Ranelli, a personal trainer on Google, or go to RanelliFit.com, or you can go to my Facebook page and you will find me there. So, first of all, thank you for clicking on this video, and thank you for letting me take some of your time. I promise you, my big goal with these videos is just to give you the most amount of value as possible and make sure I'm giving you the best ROI on your health and your fitness. So here we go. So the whole point of today's video is how much protein you should eat. And protein is a really, really important macronutrient because all protein really, really does is it helps out with survival. It helps out with cell growth or muscle growth, and it also helps out with survival, muscle growth, and also helps out with recovery as well. And protein is so important because I think there's a lot of people out there that feel hungry or feel like they're want certain foods or they get certain cravings, if you will. And a lot of times I feel like if people actually were consuming protein and having protein and actually doing their due diligence on how much protein they should be consuming, I think they would not be as not being as willing to snack on certain things because it's such a dense macronutrient. But blah, 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 blah. Only thing you have to know today is we're talking about protein, especially how much protein you should eat. And I'm going to try to make this as, organic and one-on-one as possible. So I'm going to be fumbling over my words. I have my notes to my right here. And I'm just going to kind of spiel for the next, 8 to 10 minutes or so. And hopefully it gives you some value. So protein. There's three macronutrients, right? There's carbohydrates, there's fats, and there's proteins. Proteins we're focusing on today. Well, what is protein and why is protein so important? Protein is really, really important because, again, it keeps you full for really, 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 really long, so it's going to prevent snacking. That's one thing. But what really is it, and what is the point of it? If you were, let's say, an athlete watching this video and you're trying to gain muscle mass through resistance training, protein will help you. You could be maybe a business owner, financial advisor, real estate agent, lawyer, something. You have some type of a high executive role in a company. Protein will actually help you lose fat because you won't be as hungry, and it will actually help you look better in your suit or in whatever you're wearing because it's going to help your muscles grow and recover. So that's really important. But all protein it's one of the three macronutrients, and it is very, very important for resistance training performance, and it's very important as well for muscular growth, see, here I go fumbling over my words. It's very important for muscular growth. It's very important for survival. And it's also super duper important too for recovery. And I would, again, I'm not a doctor. Please go see a doctor. Do due diligence on the type of workouts or dietary plans that you are doing. But protein, in my opinion, and for all the clients I work with, I always recommend that they have a high intake of protein because it's going to help them usually hit their goals faster. So hopefully all you have to remember and all you know from this is right now is that all protein is an essential macronutrient that everyone should be consuming, especially if you're resistance training. So how much protein should you be eating? Before we go over what the protein does, I think this is a kind of a really, really cool thing because protein in general, from the World Health Organization, everyone thought, okay, I should have, 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein. And I don't think people understand this, so I'm going to make sure I share this with you. There's this thing called RDA, and that's like I'm going to make sure I'm reading this right before I tell you. It's the recommended, yeah. Okay, it's but the recommended dietary allowance, right? And the whole entire reason that this RDA exists is just simply for people to get the baseline of protein in. So 0.8 grams was the original baseline. They actually just bumped it up to 1.2 grams to 1.6 grams of protein. And I think that's a really important nugget that I want to give you today because if health professionals and scientists out there are saying, hey, we need people to increase their protein baseline, it's probably a really important thing that you consume protein. But hopefully you understand protein is a macronutrient that you should be consuming daily. And right now the RDA is between 1.2 and 1.6 grams per body weight. I'll leave it up to you to do the math on what that would be for you. And the third thing I want to also talk about too is there's different types of protein as well, right? We have animal proteins, we have plant proteins, we have like supplemental proteins from like powders, if you will. And then we also have, I think it's called casein protein. I could be wrong, but casein protein is like, let's say from cheese or dairy, that kind of a thing. And again, you do your due diligence on what works best for you, but I would highly recommend to listen to your body. A little fun fact about me is I used to do animal protein or whey protein all the time, and I still consume animal protein in the form of food, but I actually switched more to plant protein in forms of a powder just because it's easier on my stomach. So, okay, that's what it is. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, you're probably watching this video and saying, okay, well, all this information is great, but what does protein actually do? And it's simple. Protein has just 3 simple jobs. It helps you survive, it helps your muscles grow, and it also helps you with performance. And you can kind of talk about like recovery and all that stuff, but I won't go too much into detail. So why is that super important? Well, it's really, really simple. If you want to, let's say, lose weight and you're resistance training and your protein intake is garbage, you're probably going to be super hungry, which means you're probably going to be snacking a lot. So a way to prevent that snacking is, guess what? Just having more protein. If you have more protein, believe it or not, it will curb hunger. There are studies out there that are showing that 3 grams of protein per body weight, which I think is really, really high, can actually help encourage fat loss, which is huge. Another thing, though, about protein, too, and what it does that's so important as well is that if you are consuming, let's say, protein and you're in a resistance training program, it will actually help you out more with performance because protein is going to help your muscles recover faster, and it's also going to help your muscles get bigger and stronger. So we know protein is going to help curb your hunger. We know it's also going to help you with resistance training as well, too. The third and big nugget I want to give you guys today, too, is that protein itself can also help out with this thing called, here it is, muscle, where is it? Protein can also help you out too with muscle protein synthesis, and all muscle protein synthesis really, really is just your body's ability to make new muscle or make new gains. And I think that's, again, really important because I kind of said it earlier today, protein's main role and protein's main job is to help you stay healthy, fit, and strong for a prolonged period of time. And again, if you are consuming protein adequately and you're consuming protein well, I think it is just so essential to make sure you're consuming and make sure you're doing it on a daily basis. So hopefully we understand what is protein. It's an essential macronutrient in your body. You should be consuming it daily. What does it do? It helps out with survival. It helps out with muscle growth, and it also helps out too with performance and recovery. So all this information is great, but the last thing I want to give you today, the last little nugget, is what are the action steps? So just trying to keep it really simple here. Ready? If the RDA is increased now to 1.2 grams to 1.6 grams of protein, you probably should say, okay, am I having enough protein? And if you're not having enough protein, it's probably really wise to bump it up because a lot of studies out there show that most people are not consuming enough protein, which is honestly a little unfortunate, but it's not surprising at all. So action step number 1 you can take is make sure you are tracking your protein. I know, boring, but if you track your protein, you most likely will not undereat, or you realize how much you are under eating. The second thing as well, too, the action you can take, and I think this is really important, is spread your protein evenly across meals, right? If you're done, let's say, a workout, you obviously want to have a good source of protein and a big source of protein with you. That way you keep your muscles nice, healthy, and strong, and it helps you with recovery. But also spread that protein intake throughout the day for lunch and dinner as well. If you have it during lunchtime, that's going to help curb your hunger. And I want to make sure I'm giving you this right. If you have protein during before bed, rather, it actually will help increase muscle protein synthesis and then also your metabolic rate as well, which are 2 really important things, which we'll go on over in later videos. But I want to make sure we keep the focus just on protein. But again, big action steps you can take is track your protein, spread it evenly across meals, and I would also recommend that you make sure that you are at least knowing, do you want to do plant protein? Do you want to do whey protein? Do you want to do isolate protein? Or even supplement, or even plant protein, animal protein, supplemental protein, or even like casein from like fat foods or like cheese or dairy as well. That is so important. But anyways, that's kind of my rant today. Only thing you have to remember is just make sure you're doing your due diligence on protein. So again, what is protein? It's a macronutrient that everyone should be consuming. Most dietary guidelines are now saying between 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per body weight. What does protein do? It helps with survival, it helps with muscle growth, and it helps with performance and recovery. And the 3 action steps that you can take is to make sure you're doing your due diligence and kind of seeing what kind of protein works for you. And you can also make sure that you are spreading protein evenly across meals as well, because that is a super important thing to do. But those are the 3 things I would totally do if I wanted to make sure I was consuming enough protein. And by the way, again, if anyone wants like an actual more official news newsletter where I give you like all of my notes, and I give you kind of like the blog I created too. You can go to RanelliFit.com/newsletter. You can also go to RanelliFit.com/blog. And I kind of, posted and typed up all the stuff that I thought that was really interesting on there. And again, my only goal in life is just to give you the most value possible for your health and fitness, because I think if everyone was just a little bit more healthy and a little bit more fit, the world would be a better place. And yeah, please like, follow, subscribe, or if you're like, oh, this video sucked, dislike it too. Make sure you do that too, because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best content possible. And obviously, this is my first of many, so we're only going to get better. So that's the great thing. But again, make sure you do your due diligence. Hopefully, this helped you out understand a little bit more about protein. And I will be back very shortly with another video for you guys. And I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. And yeah, please share with a friend. And remember, fitness is the way forward. Okay. Thank you.